Now to continue with the painting weights, there's a couple of good tricks I use actually to make it a bit easier to get around the model, speed things up a lot. Right now we're looking at the entire character all the time, and if you're trying to paint weights and you have this part of the character selected, you're always looking back through the rest of the character. You're trying to look at fingers, and you're seeing through to the rest of the character. It can be just a hassle that you end up looking at all of this. Well, what you can do is you can actually hide parts of the mesh. Best way to do that is go back down below skin, add an edit mesh modifier, enter the sub-object polygon, or even if your character is made up of multiple pieces that's all attached together to be skinned all at once, use the element mode, and you can actually go in and do several things. One of them being just simply grabbing and hiding all of those elements that you don't want to see, or the polygons that you don't want to see. This will make it a lot easier for us as we work on things. I'm actually going to hide off the fingers that we're not going to want to work with right away, and leave it so we only have to look at the one index finger and the thumb, get that right, and then we can work on the others. So now we can just simply see just that part of the character that we're looking for. What's also nice, if you use the element, if you do have separate elements, you can actually move the elements. We have baked the weights, therefore you're not going to actually change anything by moving parts of the model around underneath skin. The weights have been baked into the each bone, and they're going to stay that way. So you could actually go in and you could pick an element, and you could completely move that element, say the fingernails in this case here, to get them out of the way. And you can completely move them down out of the way of the rest of the skinning, so we didn't have to see them. This is going to be a handy tool for us right now, because these fingernails might just sort of get in our way. We may end up painting on them by mistake or something, so you could actually get them completely out of the way and go about weighting what we have here. In this case, I'm just going to move them down out of the way for now, and hide them as well, so they're not even in our way. Because right now, if we paint in this area, and we actually try and use the paint weighting, we'll be painting on the fingernail before we'll be painting on the finger underneath. We might want to actually weight the finger underneath first, get that right, then pop the nails back in. So this way I've actually just moved the nails out of the way, hidden them, and now when I paint, I'm not going to be painting directly on those nails, because they're not actually there anymore. They're moved down below. Now you can go back, and we can actually start working on these parts of the character as we need to work on them. Let's work on the forearm a bit more in the elbow area. I've actually added a bunch more animation now to this, so that we get a bit better idea of what the shoulder actually has to go through for a range of motion. So this is sort of my first motion test. Let's actually take a look at from frame 30 on to frame 50. We've got a whole arm twist going on. Of course, we have to remember that things like the bone down the back of your arm should try and stay in somewhat of a straight line. Right now it's jaggy all over the place. Muscles and whatnot should be flexing around the arm in an even fashion as they get stretched around the arm. Obviously that's not happening. We're going to use a couple of tools to do that right now. One, again, paint weighting, and just go ahead and paint in some extra weighting in areas to try and grab what we need. So increase the weight back up to 0.7 here. And it's actually a little bit hard to see when you use the click and drag method. Sure, over the right color background. There we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and firm up this bone area to the center twist bone. And it should probably pull all the way up into the elbow area a little bit. And again, the animation's not even there just to get the poses, but you also want the motion between the poses. You actually want to see what it looks like when it bends